Hello, my name is Willow. This is my first ever YouTube video. Welcome to Sounds of Wisdom with Willow. Today I'm going to be talking about 17 things I've learned at 17. So I am going to constantly look down because I have everything written down in a book. But the first thing I learned is to be who you are. Okay, don't try to change yourself. Love yourself for who you are. For example, people say I have an old soul, and I've learned to accept that I do. I do have an old soul, and you should also accept who you are as an individual. That's why we are individuals. Number two, most importantly, what I've learned is to have a personal relationship or personal bond with God, the Most High, the universe, whatever you think is up there. Have a personal bond. You know, you don't have to be religious, you don't have to go to church, but I do have a knowing that it is also okay for people to go to church that may need a little bit more structure, but I do know that I am a free spirit, so religion is not for me, but I have a knowing, once again, that God and I are pretty close, and he or she or they, them, I'm not sure, they take great care of me and my family, and we are divinely protected. Number three, be mindful. Be mindful of the company you keep, the people you be around, your friends, your family. Be mindful of all the things you take in and absorb. Okay, you want to observe things but not absorb things. Okay, that is very, very, very important to do. It's also important to take a mindful moment. Sometimes, even during this video, you may see that I may take a breather. That is me taking a mindful moment, grounding myself back, saying, okay, it's okay. Don't be nervous. Let's do it now. See, I feel way more comfortable already. I hope you do too. Number four, you do not have to be in a crowd. You do not have to be with the popular people. It's okay to be by yourself. And I want you to remember that the crowd is always the lost ones, always. You know, so it's okay to be in your own lane. You know, you don't have to have too many people around you, but have a solid foundation. And you know, choosing to not be in a crowd also doesn't mean for you to isolate yourself, because that's not healthy. Do not try to isolate yourself. Try to talk to people and stuff like that. That is something that I also need to work on, is to be a little bit more open and not so comfortable with, you know, just the friends I have, and to try to talk to new people. It's hard, but we should do it. We, me and you, we have to open up and try to do it the best way we can. Number six. The sixth thing I've learned is to follow my heart, period. And that's relationships, friendships. If I feel like I'm ready for a change in my life, whether that's my health, if I feel like I want to be more educated, it's okay. If my heart tells me you need to educate yourself on this a little more, do it. If it says, Willow, you want to be a poet this day, do it. But you also don't want to be the person, you know, to start things and never finish. My mother always tells me it's okay for you to do different things, but when you're in one thing, finish that one thing and then move to the next. Number seven, always be teachable. Okay, you do not ever want to be the person that thinks you know everything. You don't. It's always more to learn to everything. So that's pretty much all I have to say about number seven. Just be open-minded and open your heart to new information, whether you are familiar with the topic or not. Number eight, read. Okay, read some books. When our teachers and parents tell us you should read more, and we're just like, no, I'm good. I used to be the same way. You just have to find a book that you're interested in. And currently, this is my favorite book ever. Feed the Soul by Tabitha Brown. Please go get this book. It is absolutely amazing. But then again, when I tell people you should read more, or when I think to myself it's important to read, I'm not sure, because everybody is educated and also educate themselves in different ways. Books is just something that I recently maybe in the last 2 years recently got into. But hey, I'm gonna take back what I said. If you don't like to read, get you an audiobook, or if you will listen to some songs or something. Whatever you need to do to learn in your way, learn in your way. Right. So I feel like writing is really important for everybody. Literally everybody. You all, if you are feeling drained, if you are feeling emotional or something like that, unsatisfying, I don't know if that's the right word, but a feeling that doesn't feel so good, write it down. My grandmother used to always say, when I would come to her, when anybody would come to her, write it down, okay? And I understood why she, said that now. So writing really helps me. I recently learned that sometimes when I'm having a hard time with something, I may not talk about it, but I know that for a fact I'm going to write about it, whether I write a poem or just write something from my heart. I'm going to write about it. So try that, okay? Number 10, educate yourself outside of the system. Educate yourself outside of your school. Also, and when I say outside of the system, that includes the internet, okay? That includes Instagram, Twitter. Be your own news, okay? You don't have to watch the news to figure stuff out. You don't have to look on Instagram to figure stuff out. Dive in it yourself and say, okay, this is my truth of that. Okay, you don't have to get somebody else's truth. Make your own. And whatever you believe, you believe. That's how I look at it. But be sure to educate yourself. It's a quote that goes, think while it's still legal. I am not the originator of that, but I know that Erykah Badu is. Think while it's still legal. Take what you want from that quote. Number 11, trust your intuition. Me being a young woman, my intuition is very strong. You can feel when something ain't right. If you feel like it ain't right, it's not right. Simple as that. No matter if it hurts, if the thought hurts you mentally, like, oh, I don't want that to be that, it's that. Accept it, acknowledge it, and move on. But trust it. My mother has always told me, trust your intuition. It never lies. Never. That's that gut feeling you get when you feel like something ain't right. Believe it. Number 12, create a vibe in your room. Create a space. I have a little space here. You can't really see much of it, but I have created my room and I made a safe space. Make a safe space in your home. It can be a little area. It can be something that you draw out, or a picture you may paint that you may put on your section of your room. Or what else? I'm trying to think. What else can you do to make your room or your house a safe space? Have a designated area you go to ground yourself. Okay? Have an area you go to and you're like, okay, this is where I am safe. Personally, my window here is my safe space. From this little part of my bed to my window, this is where I meditate, okay? And I say create a main space you go to, because your body will naturally know, okay, we are in our safe space now. Let me calm down. Let me rest the mind. So if you do that, I think that you will have amazing results mentally. It'll help you. Let's see. Number 13, stop. This is important. Stop looking at family as their titles. Don't look at mom as your mother all the time. Don't look at dad as dad, your brother as brother. Look at them as people. So when they make mistakes, you're not so affected by it because you're looking at them as a person. You know, don't try to put them on pedestals and stuff like that. That's when people's feelings end up getting hurt. And I just learned this maybe in a year. People are not going to be perfect. Simple. But when you take that title out and you just look at them as a person and you're like, they're only giving me what they know. Simple. They're giving me what they know. This is just a person that is expressing themselves, may not in the nicest way. It may not be in the nicest way, but I'm going to accept it and keep on going about my day. We're going to start over tomorrow, and I'm not going to hold on to what was said to me yesterday. I'm not. Okay, you're going to take a deep breath and we're going to let it out. We're going to smell the flowers and blow the candles out. And that's just going to be that. Let's see. 14, we're almost there. Stop taking everything so personal, okay? Everybody is not against you. The world is not after you. Okay? If mom yells at you, if brother yells at you, if dad yells at you, if cousin yells at you, don't take it to the heart. Don't be like, I'm not talking to you for a year. And of course, this takes maturity. This takes time to not take things super personal. But I think that it's worth the practice. I think not taking things personal is something that you have to practice over and over again. Just like everything else I'm telling you on this list of 17 things I've learned at 17. It takes time. It takes time. So just remember in those moments to use your tools that you have learned or that you have practiced, and you will have a great outcome, a peaceful outcome. Let's see. Take care of yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. Take care of yourself. I'm currently on a wellness journey that is really, really hard. Really hard when it comes to working out, I should say. I think motivation gets you started, but discipline is what keeps you going. So, yeah, I've taken breaks. I've taken many breaks, and then I've started back up again. But as long as you don't stop, it doesn't really matter. You eat too much one day and you're like, dang, I shouldn't have ate that, and you know you shouldn't have ate it. Don't just give up. Just start over, because you're wasting more time beating yourself up about eating. I'm gonna be realistic, eating like 3 and above chocolate chip cookies. Don't beat yourself up about that. Work out harder the next day. Add some extra minutes to your normal minutes and keep on going. And that's the physical part. The mental part, that's when that being mindful comes in, taking your breaths, meditating, doing whatever helps you, writing, rapping, dancing, painting, whatever helps you. That's when the mental part comes in. Okay, next. 16. Be happy and find the good in the bad. So, being happy is something that it's not easy, especially when you have life that's currently up and down, you know, but I think that people have a certain outlook on being happy where it's like always smiles and giggles. No, being happy to me, I can't say what it is to you, but being happy to me means I understand the bad that happens around me. And that I understand that the bad is going to happen. Simple. But happiness also is to me that when I am having a bad moment, I don't stay there. And neither should you. I give myself a time limit depending on the situation. Period. You will not have me, I'm not going to be mad for an hour. Like, that's not possible. Simple. You bring yourself out of the darkness quicker. That's all happiness is to me. I bring myself out of that darkness quicker. It gets quicker and quicker every single time. And that brings me joy because I get back to this faster than I normally would. So, yes. And the final tip or the final thing on my 17 things I've learned at 17 years old is to understand the balance of life. Understanding that death, sadly, for some people it is sad, but death is necessary. But birth is also necessary. So just understanding the balance of all things around you, and to not just honor the good of life, but to honor the bad also, and know that good things are coming around sooner than later. My mother told me once in my life, in a chapter in my life, she said a cloud can stay over one house forever and eventually has to move. And I tell myself that every single time I feel like I am in a challenging time, you know, because you can overcome challenges. You know, I don't like to call it like defeats or anything like that. No, I'm never ever going to be defeated, and neither are you. There are just challenges that we have to learn how to work with. But I am a firm believer that your thoughts in your head are your reality. So I try to always think positive. Of course, we all fall short sometime, including myself. We all fall short, but don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid to say you're upset. Express yourself in a respectful way. It's about how you do things. Everything is about how you do things. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my first YouTube video. I'm sure there were many pauses and stops and maybe some random moments, but it's necessary for me to learn from. And I'm going to also be easy on myself with this process because I'm not used to talking like this. So I'm going to make sure that I'm patient with myself. But I do want to start something where I do quote of the night, because it's currently nighttime, or maybe quote of the day. So my first quote is by Erykah Badu, of course. I absolutely love her. So it says, may your heart be light, may your eyes be woke, may your mind be clear, and may your breaths be calm. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Share it to someone that you feel like it may help, or you can keep it to yourself. Again, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to smell the flowers and blow out the candles one last time with you all for this video. One last time. Namaste. Thank you for your time.